when I'm here, it's a lot of wants, not a lot of needs. And over there, money is for needs. And that's it, like basic needs.
So if you're transitioning through divorce right now, you're struggling, you're overwhelmed, you're in pain, you feel like you can't make it, you feel like you're not going to be able to do this on your own. This conversation that we're having, maybe listen to it again.
Divorce can be emotionally and financially overwhelming. That's why I'm teaming up with Sunny Wishart, president and founder of A la Carte Financial and a certified financial planner. We will show you how to understand all things money without feeling ashamed, overwhelmed, embarrassed. You will learn more, ask questions. No question is a dumb question. Welcome to Money with Sunny. Let's get into it.
Good morning. Welcome to Money with Sunny. Good morning, Sunny.
Good morning, Wendy.
Sunny just got back from Tanzania. She summited a mountain, trained for months to get there. And I hear we were having a little conversation prior to being on the air this morning, and it was challenging, inspiring. It was a whole bunch of things, and I just wanted Sunny to share her experience with us. And then we're going to talk about first world poor, third world poor, first world rich, third world rich, and gratitude. So, Sunny, tell us a bit about your adventure.
My goodness. I still can't believe it. And I'm still digesting that all this happened. But less than a month ago, me and 24 women from Ontario, we went to Tanzania and we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And it was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And it's really hard to put it into words, but no training could have prepared me for this, being at the altitude we were at and the physical exertion and just the mental state to get in the game and get out of your tent every morning and keep going.
Mm.
It was really interesting how, you push yourself to your limits and beyond. Summit night, they wake you up at midnight and you start summiting at 1 a.m. after you've already climbed all day that day. Then it took me 11 hours to summit, and then you have to go back down. You just keep going. And it's funny how your body just keeps going if it allows you. Several women had to go back down. They weren't able to make it, but that was they made the right choice for them. And then something that's sinking in is the amount of support. So of course you go with a tour group and we had 24 women. We had 90 people supporting us, local people, carrying
Wow.
our stuff, cooking our meals, setting up our tents. They treated us like queens. They helped take your boots off if you can't take your boots off at the end of the day. And we had 3 hot meals a day, beautiful local meals, just wonderful food. The people, how hard they work, and you're sitting there just gassed, and they're just going along like it's another day at the office. We had guides and porters and cooks, and oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. And to watch them run by you on the mountain and you're trekking along and they just zoom by with all your stuff. You're like, see you at camp.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to think about when you look at this is their work. And that just looks incredibly hard to me. And I just was here 6 days and these guys are going to turn around and go back up with another group.
Hmm. So wow, congrats. Yeah, that's huge. Some of the women didn't make it up to the top. You did. That's awesome. Way to go. Now you mentioned that you gave some thought to first world and your fortune to live in Canada, in North America, in a first world country and continent. And you were in Tanzania, and the difference is huge. So we sit around and we talk about investment and you're making $80,000 a year and you should be able to save a little bit and you should be able to pay your bills. And yes, everything is relative and depends where you live, how expensive things are. But really, what we're talking about regularly and every week are first world riches and poors. What's the difference, do you think, between you've just had an experience, so we thought we'd share this all with you, and it's really eye-opening if you haven't been to a third world country, if you haven't experienced this. It's you know, everybody's smiling and happy. And what do you think the big differences are between us talking about money and someone in a third world country talking about money? Like, what are the differences? What should we point out so that we're aware of where we're coming from and we're grateful for what we have?
Mm. There's it just being there, there's 1,000 things to think about when it comes to money. And I find there's just, it's just gratitude, right? Here, when I'm here, it's a lot of wants, not a lot of needs. And over there, money is for needs. And that's it, like basic needs. And here, we want more money because of, if you really think about it, it's want. And just seeing, we did a big trek one day, touring around. I tried to do everything in the 3 weeks, and seeing just hygiene, power, drinking water are not there. Like if you check into a certain hotel, but or they're so proud of what they have, and you look at it and you think, wow, good. It's admirable. I want to feel that way. I want to be so just proud of what I have and not what I don't have.
Not yearning for what you don't have, just content, happy, proud of what you do have. And I liked what you said. We want, 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 want. And in a third world country, you're more focused on what you need, but what you have is you're grateful for. So what we have, we are often not grateful for. We want more, we want more, we want more. Now, it's okay to want. It's okay to want to make more money, want to grow your portfolio, want to invest, want to grow wealth. But let's just remember that maybe some of that money then should go to helping someone who needs a helping hand, or to maybe you need to create a project where you're doing some good in the world. There's all kinds of things that you can do. I live that way. I think that's real important. Maybe you can help someone in your family who's not doing so well and needs a hand. So I think that, what I'm hearing from you, and I've traveled as well to different parts of the world. It's a refreshing, eye-opening, sometimes heartbreaking, makes you feel kind of bad about the way you are and the way you've been living and the way you've been thinking about things, makes you feel a bit greedy. It's a humbling experience. So we wanted to share that with you, because if you haven't made this kind of trip, you've seen commercials, you've seen things on social media. I mean, the world is a small place now, and it's real. There's people in the world who don't have fresh drinking water, or they have to walk miles and miles to get it. And when they go get it, maybe it's not even that fresh. They leave it sitting in a pail for days on end because that trek is so far and so long that they continue to use that water to drink, to bathe, to wash, to clean clothes. And it's a couple buckets.
Yeah, they had washing day when we were driving around on the roads, and there's all the women by the whatever water there was, 'cause it was dry season, and all the clothes draped over shrubs on washing day. The other thing is that people were so grateful for us because we were a large group. We were moving as like 24 women moving around. And everywhere we went, like they were just so grateful we were there. We were in Moshi, and that we were buying their things, and that we employed 90 people for the week we climbed. We did go on safari afterwards, some of us, and at the lodge, they made us a cake and sang to us and thanked us for coming and visiting and
Yeah.
employing, and just they were. Imagine if you went to work every day and you were that grateful.
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
have work because these people came and you get work.
So if you're transitioning through divorce right now, you're struggling, you're overwhelmed, you're in pain, you feel like you can't make it, you feel like you're not going to be able to do this on your own. This conversation that we're having, maybe listen to it again. Maybe, Google a few things, check out different parts of the world, and like really just sit for a minute and think about all of what you do have and what you are grateful for and what you do, what's surrounding you, the fresh air, the safety. You're not fearing for your life. You're not fearing and worrying about your next meal. Your kids are all doing just fine. They're probably in extracurricular activities. They've got buddies. I mean, this is really important. It goes back to what Sunny and I talk a lot about is your mindset. And it's really, really important stuff. I mean, yeah, I do know that you're struggling right now and your pain is real, but if you can just hear this message, you do have a lot to be grateful for right now. And Sunny, we had this conversation before our call, so I know it's true, but you feel that. So maybe you can kind of share with everyone how you felt before you went to Tanzania and how you feel now. What has changed a little bit? Just a little bit.
It's on. I'm still working on it, still writing about it to figure it out, but it's unveiling a lot that I was just as guilty beforehand. Like the amount of stuff I bought for this trip. It was a lot of planning, a lot of prepping, a lot of gear, and just buying, 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 having to have every piece of gear or the trip will be awful. And then when you get there and these people who are supporting our group, they don't have the gear and they're just, on the first day there was one of the porters in flip-flops and we're in these incredibly expensive hiking boots that we just broke in because we bought them for this climb. It was just, so now I just think, geez, like I don't need all this. And these people still had a smile on their face. They were happy. They didn't care. They weren't sitting there like, oh, my feet. They were just happy to have work and they were happy to support us. And I thought, I want to feel that way. It's more
Yeah.
just be thankful that you have a pair of shoes.
And that you have work, that you are alive, and that you did get up this morning, and that you have children, and your air is fresh, and for sure you got a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We could probably all eat out of our cupboards for the next month and never go to Costco or Zayre's or grocery store again. The only reason we do is because we don't quite like what's in the cupboard. And the reason we buy another shirt is because we don't quite like the shirts that we have in our closet. And hey, we're not here to be depressing. I like new things too. Everybody does. And that's okay. This is not about being depressing. This is not about, feeling bad for the 50 pairs of shoes you have in your closet. That's okay. It's just about awareness and remembering to be grateful for all of what you have. All of what you have right now is just so awesome.
We have a
I think
lot.
I think we have a lot. I mean, I think that's my message. That's my takeaway. I really love chatting with you about your trip and we could go on and on here for another hour and if you want to know more about where Sunny was, what she did, what she's up to, just reach out, email her. She'll tell you all about it. If you're looking for some financial expertise, reach out to her. She'll help you get stuff in order. We've all got room to grow and what you did yesterday or the year before, it doesn't matter. You have a change of heart. You have a change of heart right now and start doing it completely different right now. And that's how we grow. That's how we move forward in life. And it's pretty cool. And, just do it. Yeah. Any last words, Sunny?
No, it's still a lot. And I'm glad we talked about this. I think it's important to not just talk about it once, but it's to use it as a constant reminder. Just have gratitude, just be thankful.
Yeah. Amazing. Let's leave it there. Let's be thankful. I'm thankful for you, Sunny. I'm thankful for all that I have. I'm thankful for all of you watching. And until next time, just remember you are perfect. You are loved. You are important. And we will see you again next week.